Hello guys, very good evening. Today is September 13th, another episode of daily recaps, trade recaps and daily teachings. Sorry guys for a late video today. Been a busy hectic day. So I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to try to wrap under 15 minutes if I can. There are a few lessons today that we need to talk about. It was a CPI day today, and how one thing I just want to say, guys, a lot of people like new traders who go on social medias, FinTwit, YouTube, wherever, they try to position themselves before a macro event, right? People wanted to trade CPI, and they were like, they listen some people saying, oh, CPI is going to be high, everything is going to tank, and they are bearish biased based on that news. And that's not how you do it. You can't be based upon the news before the move. You have to have the price action. Today I got a DM from somebody. He was like, Rip, I took a short today because everybody said if CPI high, market is going to tank, and I lost a lot of my account on my puts. So that is going to happen because you are not really focusing on the price action, your repeatable setups. Trading a market because you think market is going to shit, or you think market is going down because somebody on Twitter or FinTwit said that it's going to go down, and that's not the way how you trade it, right? So hopefully lesson learned who tried to do that today. Market was sideways choppy action today, so there was I'll explain in a bit. So as you see, the CPI came a little higher in the morning. We were up early. I was up early, 1 hour. And as soon as the CPI came, you can see came 1 point higher on that, and market pushed down, and then market rallied back, right? General consensus is, their hike, they might do one more hike, so I guess it's kind of priced in. So what I was saying that, so you have to follow not something blindly, just follow your system. So what was happening this morning on the SPY, it was dipping down, initially held back up, and then it was choppy. It was almost flat. So setup this morning, looking at the market, it was flat. Initially when we started, okay, let me just take this out here for you guys, and let's just zoom out here, see in a bigger picture. Let's just talk about the SPY. So initially we had a clear defined pre-market level, you see here. So my setup was flat market, and what was my system telling me? To watch at the pre-market highs and pre-market lows, and that's what we did. Pre-market highs and pre-market lows. Same on QQQ. So as soon, and this was actually, I had a line here as well because this was the line. So as soon as it started to pull out, into 10 a.m. So we were actually trading long on QQQ and SPY. I was actually long. If you see my opening comments here, let's see. Okay, I was long right at open. I was long this first candle, right? I was trading long right there, and I was long QQQ as well on the calls right there. And I was only scalping because I was not sure about the big move until we see the higher lows on the candles, and we got a push 447.23, right? Almost a dollar push on SPY. We got a push, almost a dollar push on QQQ. Calls went up, and but what happened after that? Here comes what is my other concept that I teach you guys every day, 10 a.m. concept. So what happened at 10 a.m., right? So we saw that 3 candles not able to make higher high, so chances are we reject at 10 a.m. and we had our Wix levels as well, so we had our Wix levels. So we had our Wix levels as well drawn out today. As always, I have all my levels here, and you can screenshot it, and we'll talk about the levels. So anyways, so right then I took the scalp long, and you see that then I took the scalp off, in the first big push, on the first big candle, right? I mean, it was scalping. I didn't trust the move, and I had some left, I had some left, and then we were watching the same thing at 10 a.m. that this is what it needs to do. So I started to lock the profit because it was not making higher high. Then I took more off into the 10 a.m. I took more off on QQQ pushed a little bit more, and then it pulled back. Now then what happened? What happened the rest of the day? Right? I did post, or I did say, so here was, right? So what we were looking at, if this level broke, we were looking to short. If this level held, then we were looking at to long based upon what Wix does, right? So what Wix does. So Wix started to test 14, market started to test the pre-market lows, and it started bouncing. So look at me this comment, we'll talk about Nvidia in a bit. Watch if the pre-market holds or not. So based upon that, this bounced. I didn't trade SPY QQ, but I traded Nvidia or other marketplace which bounced with the market with this move right here. So that's what I played, right? So because market could always chop around, go up, go down, go up, go down, but it actually started to trend after it broke the highs, and then it pushed higher, and then it faded. But I also had, so let's see, so you guys see here, hopefully you see, okay, let's just see. So you see here, right, what I'm showing. So this was the pre-market bounce. So that was the pre-market bounce on the market. And what did it do later in the day, right? So my guidance is all day there, right? I shared this on Twitter, I guided here. And if you are taking entries on SPY QQ in between this range, you are going to chop out. You are going to lose out, and you are going to say, whatever I do, it's not working. I go long, it goes down, I go short, because these are your risk levels. So that's how you have, your system tells you that if I go long here, I know we can bounce from pre-market lows. So yeah, that's fine. Even though this was a 10 a.m. reject scalp, not an A plus, but yes, it was a 10 a.m. reject. We have seen it often. So that's what it did. And let's look at what it did later in the day. So, and we had a nice Netflix trade as well. I'll cover in a bit about that. Okay, let me show you here on this side. Okay, so look here, right? So I already talked about that trend that was happening, right? You were looking at that. And when that moved, I saw this flat top resistance, and Wix started to curl. And look now, resistance, fade back, market faded back, and Wix bounce, right? So where did it go to? Let's look at, right? Came close to that same level, right? So there was a midday trade, if you want to talk about midday trade, which is like a B setup to short with this risk, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, risk, rejections, risk, broke the 512 EMA cloud. You can start here, risk 50 cent, 60 cent risk, or options risk is this here, and when it breaks the other support, you can fade it. And people were trading it really good in the market close. I can show you, So in the end, the people were really nailed it in the community on that level, So you can see Party Fills has a good call there on that. Hundreds of people in the community, and I love everybody sharing with each other, right? So this was the short target by him, just based upon the concept. People are executing because they know, and you can do it as well. So anyways, so this was the whole day on SPY. Not really a clean trend day. Initially, push, 10 a.m. reject, pre-market low hold, push back to the highs, tried to break out a trend, did not trend, and faded back. All day, small range. QQQ traded in a 4 ATR, SPY traded in 2 2 ATR today, while their real range is 4 ATR and 5 ATR. So that was SPY, right? So my only trade was in the morning. People traded it all day, but there was high chances you could get chopped out. Comment below if you got chopped out on SPY, and if this helps you understand how to avoid the chop, and how to trade SPY QQQ. Remember, there's a chop day, there's a trend day, and we want to trade big size on a trend day. Today was a chop day. If the SPY broke this pre-market lows, like I said, I did mention today that SPY market has 3, 4, 5 personalities that repeat every day, right? Today was this personality. Some day it's a gap up, gap fill. Some days a gap up, breakout at 10 a.m. go long. Some day it's gap down, hold the pre-market lows, and fade or go up or fade. There's just personalities that you have to identify. The way to identify chop is your 10 a.m. pre-market level, morning range, and the volume. SPY was trading at 80% volume today. So anyways, let's go back to today's trade, guys. I reviewed all the news. I was up early. Myrna was the top watch. Airlines were the watch. Airlines, Save, and American Airlines were gapping down. They were on the watch. There was news on Oracle, Ford, RCKT, Spirit Airlines, American Airlines, Moderna. These were on the watch, and then we made our nice watch list. As always, we made our watch list ready. Myrna, Save, XPEV, American Airlines, Coin, FRCKT Match Group. These were all oh wow, what's going on with BTC? Let's look. CUSD. So I have these price alerts in my community that tells me when something is breaking key levels. So anyways, we keep eye on the Bitcoin because we trade coin of that. So then there was marketplace, guys. As usual, you can see the marketplace: Apple, Tesla, Netflix, AMD. These we keep eyes on every day. And then there were pennies. I didn't find any good penny. We were keeping eyes on oil plays. So I separate out of this. I did not play all of those, right? So it's just for ideas, and I share my thesis as I show you every day. And then some of them were my personal trade. Nvidia, Meta was my personal trades today. I was short on Save, the airlines, and we're keeping eyes on coin and bunch others. But a lot of these ideas worked as per the setup. All right, let's go and see our morning trades. All right, so Myrna was a long bias, but it was extended from the 110, 108 risk level. And when I put Myrna in the pre-market, it was trading at close to, those lower levels. I posted news earlier. It was trading lower levels, but it already moved from 110 to 114 in first pre-market 30-40 minutes. So it kind of spoiled our setup. And then, I didn't take it at open, although I said, it can pull back to EMA Clouds. Although I did mention a short once it breaks this 110 level for nice fade later in the day. So Myrna was on the watch. Nothing executed at open. People traded short or whatever, but I didn't touch it. And but there was a fade setup later in the day, which I can show you here. So you see, is a middle, don't want to see come down 110. I want to see 110 base. Then only I'm going to try to long it. I know some people traded it off the 110 bounce because 110 was the support level. Some people added 110s because 110 was the support level, and then it pushed to $13. So kind of good trades, scalp trades there. I didn't add because I didn't have that confidence, but good for some people who did scalp it. Myrna. And and then when 110 was testing, I said 110 breaks can flush, right? 110 break and flush, and that's when it flushed into the gap and it flushed from 110 to 108. You know, it could be a good B plus setup for the short there. So that was Myrna. So if you added Myrna right at the open, then you did not respect the risk reward, and then you probably lost on the dip. If you waited for the dip, you scaled some here and then you sold, that was okay, because we were waiting for a nice EMAs. Hopefully would have been, if this was not that big in the pre-market, the EMAs would have been closer and I could have risked better there. Maybe I could have traded that long, but nevertheless, that was fine. So anyways, SAVE and American Airlines was a bearish bias, right? SAVE was a bearish bias to short on the pops. 17 was resistance, 1640 was support. I was short on SAVE right at open 931. You can see I was short on SAVE, so you can see that. So I was short, yeah, and then it was spiking, and that didn't like when it was spiking over my risk levels, right? So I was giving it a little time, that does it go over 17, does it go over 17 or hold? You know, luckily, good for me, it rejected, right? Because I was not liking it. If it gets over, then it's no longer an A plus, because you want to see it reject this resistance level. I already said in the morning 17 resistance, right? And you see that this is 17 resistance rejected, and finally the trade worked by end of the day. I didn't wait till 1620. I was out at 1650. Man, it could have been a good trade if I held, but you know, it was a low range. ATR is just 60 cents, so that was enough for me. American Airline did not touch because it faded, but it did not give me, it was making back higher lows, and it kind of idea worked out later because it rejected the EMA Clouds here, but that was a 11 a.m. trade, and I didn't really want to take that trade at that point of time. I even didn't see it, but you can see it faded on the EMA Clouds all day. The system, guys, the system. That's what I'm telling you, system. And you don't have to long every day. Try to short, puts, calls, shorts. Get a good broker. Get Cobra Trading. If you want a link to Cobra Trading, I can do a webinar with them, and you should sign up. You should trade both sides, not just long. Easy trade on Spirit Airlines today. I mean, stress free. Even here I was risking 10 cents, and then I was like, that's fine. Okay, so let's see what else. So coin, if Bitcoin was strong, I will watch 81 level. So XPEV was bearish bias, but right out of it spiked, right over the EMA Clouds. I don't like to see that. I do not like to see that. So on XPEV, no trades for me, because only on the pops, and you see it held that and then came back, held it. So I didn't like the action, so that was a void trade for me. If anybody took their trade, they should have stopped out when it got, then they see third or fourth candle holding up. So that was XPEV. Okay, let's look at few other trades. Oh wow, it's already 18 minutes. I promised to keep it short today, but okay, okay, Meta I was long right out of the gate, guys. Meta I was long right out of the gate. Long versus EMA Clouds. So was a trade today on Meta. You can see my commentary, and the right out of the gate was Meta long. You can see the Meta. So I was strong because I had a 300 level to risk, and then right out of the gate from 303 to 307, easy $5 trade, guys. I didn't get the full $5, but I got some. And but that was because we were ready in the pre-markets. We draw our levels in pre-market that I shared with everyone, right? So I decided to take Meta, not anything else. I did take Nvidia as well later in the day, but that was our trade on Meta, guys. And even if like later in the day it bounced from EMA Clouds, it was a good trade again if somebody wanted to take it, because risk was clearly defined. And this bounce was with this bounce on the market. Remember, we talked about this bounce when we started this today's video. I talked about this bounce. So this bounce was with the market. So don't trade blind, guys. Keep eyes on the market. What market is doing, that's how you trade. All right. So let's quickly see what else we did do today. Okay, so morning trades, Meta was good for me. QQQ SPY long was good. Old days trade was good on the save. That was good. Let's see. Yeah, Apple was heavy today. I noticed Apple was heavy. So right, I was on the voice in the morning, and right at the morning I was shouting about the heaviness when I saw this wick. And I'm sure many people in the community traded, scalp shorted, and once it break this pre-market lows, it faded more. I was, so rejecting EMA Clouds, I said right there, and then, it was, going down. So in bear trend, so I didn't touch it again. So I just want to show you like what I see and what I share. Even though I didn't trade that, but that was the point. You need to identify like what's happening, how's market moving, where is the rejections. If you clear your platform of too many indicators, keep it clean, you would easily be able to identify it. Okay, Meta was long, as you see. Save was short, right? So yeah, Ford from the watch list was focused on the pullbacks. I never got an entry. It did bounce on the pullback and went back to 1285 because I don't like such a low range trades. 28 cents ATR is not for me. Yeah. So okay. So people were trading Tesla. It was a pre-market plan. I explained that versus 270 and pushed night $3-4 in the morning trade, and this was also mostly a voice guidance, and nice trade by Win on Tesla. So that was good. So let's see. So I want to quickly talk about Netflix trade. There was a big winner for us, and then Nvidia long. Okay, let's talk about Nvidia long. Okay, I was on the voice. I mentioned that I'm going to take Nvidia long. I mentioned Nvidia long somewhere here at around 940s. And we were scalping this long, and it pulled. I was scalping long as per earlier mentioned on the voice. Then I closed the scalps when it started to pull down, right? I closed them because I was worried about this market breaking pre-market lows. So I closed it. But anyways, when market bounced, when this bounce happened, I got back into Nvidia. Here you see back into Nvidia. And then we traded Nvidia all day. My last comment was, if you can see here, all day guidance, you can screenshot it and review it. Move stops up, good to log the profit. And then finally I closed all the Nvidia when this was breaking down. This was time to close and take profits. I did give warnings, good to lock if the trend breaks. So we got back in. So never be shy to get back into the trade. Why did I get back? I saw the bounce, I saw the market bounce, and right away I jumped into Nvidia right away, and then Nvidia paid us all day. So big win on Nvidia today. All right, guys. So Netflix, even before the news hit, I was short on Netflix. Good short under the yesterday lows, because look at the daily. The daily was, breaking this key level under, and I was short. I was short here. You can read my comments here. And then I covered when it bounced. I mean logged here, half of it, and then I was covered everything for a profit, small profit. But then when the news hit 11:53, I posted the news, and right then I was on voice. I said short it, and I started with the short, small size chase. And when the short started to work, added more, and then our target was 420, and then we were watching the bounce, right? 425 or 428, two levels. It rejected 425. You see here. And then my next commentary was 420 breaks, we see much lower, and boom boom, all day fade, guys. Big win on options, 200% on options, big win on shares, almost like if you held, I covered most at 416, but it still faded all day. So just a big win. So that's why you need to be aware of what news is coming. I post the news right away. I have hundreds of sources that I keep eye on. My community has live news alerts, news quacks, everything. So yep. So that was it, guys, for today. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Good day, choppy day if you just traded SPY QQQ. Good day if you got some good plays like Nvidia, Netflix short, and Spirit Airlines short. So all right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Come join my community. You can email the link, TannerTradeGroup.com, if you want to be part of the community, and you can check my website, ripstereducation.com, for my system, all the tips, and see how I have changed lives right on my homepage. You can see that. And God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow, Thursday. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. I keep doing the market updates all day. All right. Okay. Thank you. Bye.